Okay, so let's get started on that last problem. I think in some classes I didn't do this example, but I'm going to go ahead and do it, okay? The first thing I'm going to do is to see if there's any zero exponents, and there are none. And then I'm going to see if there's any negative exponents, and there are some. Okay, we have one here and one here. So let's go ahead and change that position. So I'm going to rewrite 4x to the fourth, y to the negative 2 to the third. We have a negative exponent inside of the parentheses, but we can't do anything until we distribute that 3. So I'm going to leave it alone. Let's go ahead and move that x to the 1 up and y to the 5 up. Okay, and in my denominator, I have the rest. So let's go ahead and now look at it. Now we need to take care of this parentheses, okay? The parentheses that is right here, okay? So I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to distribute it through. So I have 4 to the third, okay, x to the 12th, y to the negative 6 times, I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite y to the 4th, x, y to the 5th, over 64 x to the 2nd, y. Now, are there any more negative exponents? Yeah, right here. We have another one. So let's go ahead and put the numerators and then denominators in order, and also put that y to the negative 6 down in the numerator. So I have a 4 to the third. When I talk about putting things in order, I like to do numbers first and then do alphabetic order. So x to the 12th. Okay, I'm going to skip over that y to the negative 6, x to the third, and then x. Right here, it's x to the 1. You can put a 1 there if you want. Okay, and then we have a y to the 4th, and then a y to the 5th. And then down here we have a 64, and an x to the 2nd, y to the 1, and y to the 6th. And all of it to the negative 3. Okay? Now, let's go ahead and simplify everything in the numerator. So we have a 4 to the third. Okay, 4 to the third is what? 64. Okay, times 4. Okay, and then x, let's go ahead and combine all of our exponents, 12, 3, and 1. So that is 16. Okay, and then we have a 4 and a 5 for the y. So y to the 9th. And then below we have 64. And then we have an x to the 2nd and a y to the 7th to the negative 3. Okay? Now, here we can actually multiply 64 times 4 and then simplify it with the 64. But why do we need to do that? Okay? We could just simplify 64 and another 64 as 1. We can do that. I mean, these are the factors of whatever we're going to multiply, and what it's going to become 256, but those are the factors. And when we have it in this case, we can actually simplify that. Okay, so I have a 4, and then we have a 16 and a 2, so that's x to the 14th, and we have a 9 and a 7, and that's y to the 2nd. And we're going to have all positive exponents, so that's why we don't have anything in the denominator. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at this negative 3. Negative 3 is made up of negative 1 times 3. So let's take care of the negative 1 part. Okay, I'm going to take care of the negative 1 part, which means that everything here is going to flip over. Okay, so it's all going to go in the denominator. 4 to the x to the 14th, y to the 2nd. And then now to the 3, because I took care of the negative 1 part. Now I can go ahead and distribute the 3. It'll be 1 to the third, and then 4 to the third, and then x to the 14 times 3, which is 42, and then y, 2 times 3, which is 6. Okay, and I end up as my final answer 1 over 64 x to the 42, y to the 6. Now, you could have taken this negative 3 and you could have distributed in here. It's up to you. Okay, but I like to take care of the negative first and then deal with the exponent that is associated with that negative second, so that I don't get the swapping of the position with the actual multiplication or the exponent. I don't get those two confused. Okay, good job, guys.